Joining us now is a man who knows a lot about a sport that is very huge on the internet. He's the future of NBA and sports talk. He just created something called Enjoy Basketball, which is for people who are tired of hot takes and negativity. That's us right here, pal. You can find him on Twitter and on YouTube at KOT4Q. Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Beecham.
Hey! Wow, what an intro, man. What an intro. I appreciate you guys having me.
Hey, no problem. I enjoy your energy, your spirit, man. I'm excited to link up with you here. This should have happened a long time ago. Thank you for joining us.
I think so, too. I've been following for some time, and I'm just checking my verify tab, waiting for the Pat McAfee follow back. I'm just waiting.
Look on. Go ahead. Go look right now.
Okay. All right. I'm waiting. Here we go. And it is there.
Yeah. Yeah.
There it is.
I thought I had already followed you. I'd seen you on the internet. I knew exactly who you are whenever it showed up. Like, hey, would you want Kenny Beecham on the show? It's like, I think Zito asked me. I'm like, yes, I know of your work. I appreciate your work. And I like the fact that the future of sports talk feels like it's going to be much more positive and not hot takey. Now, let's go to your last tweet. I just checked 4,200 retweets or something like that, which is obviously colossal numbers on the internet. It was CJ McCollum and JJ Redick, a picture of them about to destroy Stephen A. Smith. And Stephen A. looked defeated.
Oh, yeah.
We're talking head down, no confidence ass Stephen A. Smith after what JJ Redick and CJ McCollum did. Kevin Durant actually quote tweeted the entire thing. Was like, oh, is this what's happening on First Take now? I'll fucking come and check it out. How do you feel about the way basketball is being covered? And do you like the new players getting onto ESPN and the way everything's going on the internet? I think it's good for all sports right now, Kenny.
I definitely love it. People like JJ, CJ, they're anti-hot take culture. I do believe that for the past 10 years or so, as I was growing up, I would watch like the ESPNs of the world, thinking that is the only way to enjoy a sport is to rank players, and try to diminish these players. And now you get this new generation and this movement that we've been trying to start. And now you can just sit back and enjoy the game, whether it be basketball, baseball, football, and just take it for what it is, which is entertainment.
What do you think of what like Pat Beverly has been doing on ESPN, going back and forth? And I think JJ and Pat and having them there is awesome. Also JJ's podcast too. Seeing these NBA players actually like open up and feel comfortable is really cool. But you think Pat Beverly has a long future there at ESPN?
I think he could. I think he recently said that he wouldn't go out of his way to do like a casting career afterwards, but he's built for it. He 100% is. If you have anybody that knows the X's and O's and just knows basketball deeper than like a casual fan, but can also keep it real, that's what Patrick Beverly has done. He's got a nice future, but I think he still wants to get that championship eventually before he decides to do anything else.
Hey, a lot of hot takes out of Pat. I mean,
Definitely.
Pat Bev there, the first day he was on ESPN, he trended for like 14 hours.
Chris Paul
This is
sucks.
the thing. I respect him a little bit more than Stephen A. Smith because he's the one guarding Chris Paul. So the hot take matters a little bit more to me as an outsider.
How do you think that came to be, by the way, the hot take culture? Because you talked about it and you said you grew up on it, and I think we all did as well. And it was Cold Pizza.
Yep.
Yeah.
Cold Pizza was a show way back in the day. Kenny, you might be too young. You look very young. You look damn good. Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's what First Take is now. Literally, Cold Pizza became something, and then now it's First Take or whatever. That's like the evolution of it. But combat sports talk is almost what became the thing. Why do you think that happened? Do you think it's because everybody loves just hearing why somebody else sucks? Do you think that's why it is? I
think it's partially that. I also think it's a way for people to get the attention that is necessary to grow in the business, right? If I have a hot take about LeBron, who's one of the greatest ever, it's gonna matter a little bit more than me praising him. If LeBron has a bad game, like as a YouTuber, if you talk about LeBron's bad game, it's like your best performing video of the month. So when you think about it in that sense, the hot take culture is the way people get on to sports media. That's how it has been, but we're trying to change that.
Yeah, we are, aren't we, Kenny? Hey, we are.
Hell yeah.
You and me both. Go on.
Everyone loves a car wreck, though, right? Isn't that what people are tuning in to watch?
It is. And I'm not saying there is no world for hot takes, because I think there can be conversations about ranking players and doing things like that. But I think that we get to the point where it's too over the top, where it's like, man, you can say a lot of things about like Steph Curry, but you cannot deny the fact that he is great at what he does. And I think we get to the point where we start to diminish these careers and like, that's the greatest shooter of all time, one of the greatest point guards of all time. He doesn't have a finals MVP yet, but who gives a damn? He's great at what he does.
Hey, will you give me a fist bump right here?
Which way am I? Am I this way?
Yeah, to your right. To your right. Boom.
Yeah.
Boom.
There we go.
We're going to do it. Hey, we're going to do it. We're going to change the way sports are covered, Kenny. Let's do it.
Definitely.
Why not?
Here for it.
Hey, you crush on YouTube, dude. Absolutely crush. I enjoy watching your videos. Zito sent me a bunch. And just you have such a spirit about you that is just uplifting. And I don't want to be a hot taker and bring you down at all. Celtics are dead, right?
Whoa.
Celtics
yeah.
are completely dead. Golden State's about to just go ahead and run the table from here on out. Is that how you feel? And is this the right two teams you think in the finals, Kenny?
I think it is the right two teams from everything we've seen so far. But I wouldn't go as far to say they're dead in the water, man. They had a template in game one. Obviously, you don't expect Al Horford to hit 6 of 8 threes every single game.
26.
But if you look at what he did from game one to game two, he's probably somewhere in the middle. He had like 4 points in game two. I'm expecting more from him. I'm expecting more from Marcus. I'm expecting more from Derek White. So I'm hoping they're not dead in the water because I want a competent and competitive series.
Did you play ball? How'd you get into this?
So my uncle used to say, like, those who can't play talk. So I played a couple years of high school, and then I realized Dad is like 5'9". My mom is like 5'1". Hooping is not really the future for me, so let's pick up a microphone and just study the game and talk about it.
How long have you been on? Ever since high school, you've been talking into microphones? How old?
I've been talking in the microphone. So it started off just as gaming, and it was like sporadic gaming. It was sports gaming. It was shooters. It was a lot of different gaming. And then I realized that people cared about what I was saying for some reason. Then it gravitated more than just like me, this microphone, and this setup, and let's just talk all things basketball.
You're killing it, man. Hey, happy for you.
Yeah.
Thank
So
you,
you're what?
thank you.
You're 5'4.5"?
No, I'm 5'8".
Oh,
Okay, hey.
I'm 5'8", you know. A lot of people don't believe it because I'm interviewing athletes who are 7 foot, so I take pictures next to them, and they think I'm 5 foot. It's like, no, I'm a little bit taller than that, but obviously not NBA height. I was tall enough and decent enough to make it the first 2 years of high school hoops, but after that, it was a wrap.
Any
It was
NBA
over.
guys show you love that really got you excited? You know, like any NBA guys have seen your stuff and said, "Hey, this is really good. I appreciate that." I assume that it gives you a nice jolt. Who was it?
Definitely. JJ Redick honestly gave me a ton of confidence over the last couple of years. I don't even know how we linked up, but he did a live show in New York a few years ago that he invited me to. I've been on his podcast a few times. Him, Duncan Robinson. I used to do the series where I was interviewing NBA players, and I always knew, like, if they enjoyed the interview, they'll hit me back with a follow on Twitter. So I have like Rudy Gobert follow me, Jamal Crawford, Dwayne Wade. So I'm like, if those dudes enjoyed our interview so much, I must be doing something right.
Hey, happy Rudy survived that COVID.
Yeah. That was
yeah.
tough.
Remember
Yeah.
Rudy?
He kind of
was,
started the whole
Yeah,
thing.
Rudy actually was the one that threw COVID into America.
Yeah.
Can't believe it.
That's what he did. He
That was a
grabbed-
tough time. Definitely a
tough.
time.
Hey,
we had to
COVID
do a lot of PR after that one.
Yeah, COVID was a tough time for all of us, but Rudy Gobert really, there for like a week and a half, 2 weeks, he was public
yeah.
enemy number one.
Top.
Because he was
Definitely
disrespecting the media. The
Yeah.
media. Hey, you disrespect the media, they're not happy.
Don't even
about
think
it.
about it.
This guy touched our microphones with COVID. That son of a bitch. We're all going to die now.
Donovan Mitchell hates it.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Connor.
Yeah, Kenny. Aside from the Celtics, obviously they're probably going to win the finals.
Dang.
I believe that you kind of feel the same way. But is this the most talented the NBA's ever been? It feels like every team, aside from some of the veteran teams, have a guy that's like in his 20s that's already kind of a bona fide stud.
Definitely. I think this is the most fun I've ever had as a basketball fan. I started watching in 2003-ish. There's, like you said, an immense amount of talent, so much that I'm waiting for expansions to happen. I'm looking for the next 2 cities to get a basketball team because there is just so much talent. It seems like people are coming into the league younger and becoming great. Luka immediately came into the league and was like an all-star player. Zion had to sit out a season, but he came back and he was an all-star player. And it's just, I think it goes back to like people realizing how much work you have to put in to be great. So like I have a cousin who started playing basketball like 2 years old, and now he's like ranked here in Chicago at freshman on varsity because they realized very early on that basketball can be a ticket out of a lot of different places.
You're from Chicago.
I am.
So Michael Jordan, greatest player of all time. Better than
All time. I got this 101 piece behind me. I paid $5,000 for it.
Oh,
to
you're
show
living
people.
well, Kenny. $5 grand. Can't hide it. Can't hide it.
That's the greatest of all time, if you ask me. But candidly, I was born in '96, so I didn't get to watch the 2 3-peats, but I know about them.
Oh, so you've seen all the highlights.
I've seen the highlights. You know, Hardwood Classic plays the full games, you know, during the off season. So, you know, I've seen a decent amount.
Much better than LeBron. LeBron never ever, huh, Kenny? Is this hot take
Kenny,
city?
you excited?
hot
You
take
excited for
city.
LeBron to start a podcast?
I'm excited for the opportunity to be on LeBron's podcast. Right now.
Okay.
So, because you think that LeBron has the chance to be the greatest of all time, right? We don't know what his career is going to end up being.
It's
What's
always
that?
hard when people ask me that. I'm always gonna go with my heart, and my heart says MJ just because of the 6 rings here. But I always to play it safe. I always say LeBron is the greatest player I have personally ever seen. play
Smart,
basketball.
Kenny.
Yeah, it is
That's
smart.
the way I answer that question 100% of the time.
Go ahead, Ty.
Kenny, you mentioned LeBron. Anytime you do a video about him, that's probably like the most viewed thing that you're doing. And Connor said how the league has so many good guys at this point. But do you ever get tired of like casual fans only like there's the same 7 guys you talk about who move the needle, and then no one really gives a shit about anyone else? Like, do you ever get like caught up in like, oh, I'm just talking about the same guys over and over and over and over every single night?
You know what? I've done or the community that we built have done a great job of just showing love on whatever videos. I did a video about Rudy Gobert, and it was one of my top performing videos, So like, I think there is an avenue for people that are deeper than the casual fan that only care about the top 7 or 8 guys. And those are the people I'm trying to cater to. I mean, there's 30 organizations, and at least 25 of them deserve to be talked about one way or another. So I try my best to try to cover all things basketball.
Which ones don't?
No comment.
Oh,
Thanks,
I like the
AJ.
positivity.
smart. That's very smart. There's no reason to bring that up. What's this guy all
Yeah,
about? Are we
yeah,
not trying to
yeah.
enjoy
I'm
basketball?
curious. As a casual fan, I'm very curious. But I agree with you. I love Michael Jordan as well.
Hey, you're in. What? He's
I'm a
from
huge
Ohio,
Jordan
though.
guy.
Kind of. He's from Ohio, though, the home state of LeBron. So kind
I'm
of
a
the
huge
opposite.
LeBron fan too.
Yeah, me too.
You can be both. You definitely
I
can
just
be
don't-
both.
Well, not
Yeah.
you. You paid $5,000 for a poster behind
Yeah.
you. You know what I mean? That is the whole thing. Hey, enjoy basketball. I looked at your YouTube. You got like 6 pages, multiple 6-figure follow. I mean, you are a weapon, dude. Your work ethic, unbelievable. Your vision, incredible. I think enjoy basketball. Is this new? What is enjoy basketball? If you were to put it in terms, is that the community you're talking about with like 100,000 people?
Correct. So, enjoy basketball is a message that I've been sending for years. And
AJ.
then, one day I was just like, hey, I talked to my people and I said, let's try to make it more than just a message. Let's try to build a community around it. So it's really for the NBA fan that doesn't really care about the hot takes, but more want to watch the basketball and just enjoy for what it is. We had our first merch drop and we sold out in 3 hours. We're working
Hey,
on-
man, good business.
yeah, like it's great. And we have a newsletter that we write 3 times a week, all things hoop, with some of the best people in NBA Twitter. So yeah, enjoy basketball is a real thing, man. And I think people are taking the message and running with it.
That's awesome. I try to enjoy basketball as much as possible, except for whenever I lose.
Yeah.
An absurd amount of cash on method at first basket.
Tough.
Who's going to score first? There's so
This
many.
is the thing. This is why I like those bets, because you can be mad about it for 5 minutes and then you can enjoy the rest of the game, right? Like,
Yes.
First basket is over, and now let's just sit down and watch hoops.
Well, yeah, but then there's follow-up bets.
Yeah.
Too. That
Now we're chasing. Now we're chasing.
Yeah, now we're trying to. Kenny. I mean, it's a full.
I'm not a big bet guy, so that first basket is about the extent of my knowledge.
Well, that's because you enjoy basketball. You know
Just
what
'cause I
That's-
enjoy it.
Yeah, we are. We're trying to profit off it, and we never do. Go ahead, Tone.
Kenny, who's a player now? Like, who's the most positive player in the league? Like, the player that anytime you do a video about or anytime you talk about, everyone is positive about that player and has the least amount of haters, you think?
Wow,
Why
it
is it Ja?
changes, right? It's not Ja anymore after this last playoff run. He's got people to turn on him, and that's what it is. You will have a player that is young and good, and you make videos about him. I'll say Luka, and then you get to the point where Luka is leading his team to the conference finals, and now the teams that he beat, the fans of those teams hate him now. So there is no player that is like 100% positive. I would say Luka's probably the best thing. Trae Young during the run last year, he had New York against him, but other than that, everybody loved him. But it's hard, man. It's hard to maintain a bunch of love. Like even Chris Paul, one of the greatest of all time, in the last 2 years, have had people turn on him. So I don't really know.
Kenny, who's going to win the finals?
My original prediction was Warriors in 6, and I'm going to stick to
You
it.
son of a bitch.
But I hope it goes 7.
Just enjoy basketball, man.
Yeah.
Be positive.
Yeah,
Don't call
Kenny.
Kenny our guest a son of a
Well,
bitch.
I mean, he's not enjoying basketball. He's just, rooting for the Warriors. But whatever, it's fine.
No. I'm not rooting for it. That's just what I predict is going to
Sounds
happen.
like you are.
Kenny, it's okay to say Celtics are dead, dude. They're dead.
But
dead.
in February, when they were starting their turn, I went on to national TV and told the world that the Celtics are going to make a run. And I got laughed at by Shaq and Dwayne Wade.
Fools.
And here they are in the finals. So I want to kind of see them be successful so I can rub it in their face next time I see them.
Yeah.
Realistically, I think the
5'9",
Warriors
5'8". You're gonna have to.
Yeah.
I mean, rubbing it in Shaq's face gonna be tough.
Stepwise.
Yeah, last time I met Shaq, he put his hand on my skull and just shaked it around.
Well, whatever's happening inside of that skull is incredible. We're very lucky to be on the same platforms as you. We appreciate what you bring to the sports world. And you know what? I mean, I followed you before this. I should have followed you a long time ago, dude.
Appreciate you guys, man. This is a blast. I'm tuning in very, very often. I appreciate you guys.
Hey, no problem. Anytime you want to come back, you let us know. If you're doing any more merch jobs.
You let me know if you need anybody to talk hoops. I'm the guy.
You are the guy. It sounds like you're. All right, who's the most talented player in the NBA right now? Is it Kyrie Irving? And what's going to happen when he goes to the Lakers with LeBron? Are they just going to win the next 4 rings?
Is it Kyrie Irving? He might be the most visually pleasing player to watch for sure. I don't know if
The
that makes
most
him the most
optically
talented.
pleasing player, Kyrie Irving.
It might be Kyrie because defense is talent to me, and he ain't really got much of that. But what was your second question?
Hot take kind of negativity there. Unbelievable. He's going
Shout out to Reed. We love Reed.
Yeah, we love Kyrie. Absolutely. We love you too, man. Thank you so much for stopping by. Have an incredible Wednesday. Can't wait to see the shit that you come up with next.
Appreciate you, fellas. Enjoy the rest of the show.
Ladies and gentlemen, Kenny Beecham. $5,000 poster right over his head.
Jeez.
Loves MJ.
Painting or whatever.
Yeah.
One of one, he said.
Unreal.
Hey, he is brilliant entrepreneur, that guy. Big fan of his.